All right, my name is Mitch,
And I'm Jordan.
and this is First Impression Reviews.
Today we will be reviewing Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal is a fast-paced first-person shooter. It's very gore-esque. There's a lot of blood and guts involved. Action is fast-paced, and you try to get around as fast as possible through the levels, avoiding as much of the demons / entities that appear on the level.
Your job is to kill demons that are invading Earth at this time, and you get a whole arsenal of weapons to do so. Anything past the real story on that it's definitely put off to the side. The story definitely takes a back burner approach in this game. It's very not important in a lot of areas.
Yeah, there's I think it's the level. There's one level that you're going through the main story. Oh, and then you lose the priest, and then it's just like, let's just go kill the biggest
Guy there is.
the biggest one. Like,
why not?
This is where the most demons are. Let's just go here.
Yeah. Okay. So it does pick off where 2016 left off. In Doom 2016, you kill Dr. Samuel Hayden, and you defeat, I believe, the final demon of hell that came out into the Argent facility. And it kind of just left on sort of a cliffhanger there, and you're in a sense just put back right to where you started.
So that robot you saved, you killed in 2016.
Yeah, in 2016 you killed Dr.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I guess first point we should jump into is definitely gameplay. I feel that this is the definite best part of this game, and I feel that's the way the devs wanted it to be. This is what sets it apart from all other first-person shooters. In other senses, like, let's take Wolfenstein, for example, the new Colossus. It's very much, you can't just sit in one place. If you do, you will die, and especially in the harder difficulties. Because I went through the hardest. Mitch, you went...
I went through the regular one. I can't remember what it's called. Not the easiest level.
I think it's called Hurt Me Plenty.
Hurt Me Plenty, yeah. That's what it's called.
Yeah, so we definitely got a good aspect. But even on both difficulties, like, you can't stay still. Like,
Yeah, no.
That's really what I enjoy about this game, more than anything. Everything's solid. Mechanics are super tight. I love the platforming aspects that they've added into it. I know a lot of people weren't exactly thrilled about that, but I didn't mind them at all. And the puzzles as well were really fun.
Yeah, the puzzles were really interesting. Something that gameplay wise that I really liked was the level design. Like, on each of the places you knew where demons were coming, it was very obvious that demons were going to be there, and like where you were going to have to move through to get ammo, to get stuff. Exactly. Like, the level design I absolutely loved. I can't think of one level where I was like frustrated because the map sucked.
Exactly.
I was never that. It was either me being stupid or just like the demons just got good hits off.
Well, and the other thing too, it's like the maps have a natural flow that I didn't ever like investigate on, like, which ways are good ways to go. It's just I naturally found them through the course of the enemies driving me into certain locations. And even on the times when, you try the level 4, 5, 6 times over, you could find new things, new areas, new little bar to swing off of and go slow-mo and shoot someone. So that was all great. Another point I'd like to bring up is just every side content in this game, whether it be a collectible or the extra like encounters, and the Slayer Gates, obviously. There are the other encounters, and then there's Slayer Gates, and Slayer Gates are...
The Slayer Gates are, in my opinion, gameplay, like, along with the level design, because even the level design on the Slayer Gates are just absolutely pristine. They're so good.
You can tell that's where the real
oomph
of the game
came. So much fun doing the Slayer Gates, and especially once you've killed that last thing, and all the little symbols pop up at the top, and you just feel so accomplished. Like, all the sound effects are just awesome.
Another thing is just... In sense of its 2016 counterpart, I feel that the enemy variant and the variety of enemies is kicked up to the max, 100%. Because every enemy in this game, there's a certain way to kill them, and it's much more methodical than 2016. For example, like the mancubuses, the big fat guys with two.
Yeah, but that's mancubus.
Yeah. You have to shoot off their cannons. You're just going to make the game a lot harder for yourself. Same with the Reavers and their little jetpacks.
Yeah.
You got to shoot those off. Whereas in 2016, and I mean, I love that game, but it was just like shoot shit until it dies, and you'll win. So that was a real improvement, I feel. That's all I can really think of on gameplay.
No, I mean, if you include all the guns were very interesting. I think that there was a lot of guns. I would assume, based on what we've talked about off mic, that there's certain things that damage people or guns that you just don't use, you just forget about. You're just not as... I think we both didn't use the rocket launcher, if I remember correctly, as much.
The rocket launcher and the ballista were definitely my two least.
I probably used the ballista, but you used the combat shotgun a lot.
Super shotgun is the only way to go.
And I just never used it, so I think that's something that people just have. They have certain weapon that they prefer, so there's a lot of weapons to choose from, but you might not end up using some, so it might just feel, especially if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, going I think it's 1 through 8 to switch.
Well, I would hold Q, and then that brings up your weapon wheel.
Yeah, like if you're used to switching weapons with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like,
or even scroll wheel, it's going to be really hard for you.
It's
especially
super difficult. You have to get used to a different mechanic. So
exactly, I think that's another good point in the sense of this game is very easy to play, easy to learn, but incredibly difficult to master in those sense. Because in the harder difficulties, I was being forced to use all my guns because I'd run out of ammo, and things are just so tanky. So that was really refreshing in the sense of its 2016 counterpart, because again, you could just, even on the hardest difficulty, you could go in there, all you needed. You got way too much ammo in comparison to this one.
Yeah, this one ammo's a
real tricky, and also the chainsaw is not busted anymore, because I think you used to be able to get 6 gas cans for the chainsaw, and now they've maxed it to 3. And I feel like that's a really good change, because that's the hardest part, is when you're running around and you see a giant guy and you're just trying to find that one little twerp demon just so you can get ammo again. So it made it very much, again, in the sense of making the game much more challenging. They did a very good job. Graphics, I feel game looks absolutely astonishing.
Wonderful.
Even on, like, I only set my graphics to high because I wanted high frame rates, and it was still just flawless. I had
taking the scenery, like,
exactly, every little detail they put something into it. The buildings exploding, the giant things that you'll just see in the background, constant little
the enslaved titans that they had. Super cool.
Also, the I forgot their names, but they're the ball demons with one eye, and you shoot like a grenade into their mouth. They're flying in packs. And it's a nice little
pack tactics.
Exactly, but it's like way off, and you could see like them fighting other things. I thought it was cool. Also, another thing with the demons and the AI that I thought was really interesting is they'll fight each other.
Yeah, I've noticed when you're not in there, it's like the underworld kind of to the
like
other planets.
It had it reminded me of like Lord of the Rings orcs. Like, they're never really friends, and you leave them together long enough alone, they're gonna fight. So that was really cool. Again, every little tiniest detail they could put into the game, and they did. So it's just really amazing. Replayability.
For the story,
no.
I would say mostly not, unless you want to 100% the game and you didn't try, or you weren't really trying on your first playthrough.
Right.
Sure. You can go through, they have the cheat codes that they give you, they have all this stuff that you can do, your progress isn't impeded with all this extra stuff that you can get, so you can replay it, but...
The Slayer gates are impeded.
They are?
Mm-hmm. If you add cheat codes, you can't do Slayer gates.
So, I mean, there's like certain things you could replay, so, and then there's the multiplayer, which we didn't dabble in too much, but...
It's an interesting concept. I give them points for that, because Doom 2016 multiplayer was nothing special.
Yeah, and I mean, it's 2 demons against 1 human. So that's it's small lobbies. So like, I don't know. I don't think it was like game breaking. I think it was a good step in the direction for them if they decide to do another Doom game, trying to figure out a better way to enhance multiplayer. But multiplayer, I don't think was anything.
Another thing. Well, I don't think anyone buys these games for multiplayer, but again, in comparison to 2016, the multiplayer felt like such an unnecessary add-on. Like, it just wasn't. There's no point to it. Whereas this one, I could see, if you really really love this and you only have 3 people and you just want to fuck around, and it could be fun. Replayability, I think the only reason I would ever replay this, but I started off from the hardest difficulty, and I'd have to do that every time. But if someone like you, if you wanted to challenge yourself one day and run through it again, you could get a different aspect from it.
I think the climbing mechanic was not my favorite thing.
Like the walls?
Yeah. I don't think they were visible enough.
There were some times where I was getting
and you were just like not positive where you would have to go, and then there's like when you have to turn and jump a certain way and you turn the wrong way, it's like, okay, now I have to flip all the way back around, and then
it kind of impedes it a little bit. I don't think it's horrible, in that sense, but I know exactly where you're coming from.
Along with the climbing, this is more near the end levels. There's a level where you have to go through they're not teleporters, they're force things that they push you to another circle that shoots you another direction or whatever. That and I had a couple times on those where I'd go through it and I'd just overshoot it.
Or undershoot it.
And I'm just like, what? Especially because every other game, whenever you go through those, it's just an automatic thing. You just go to the next one, and it's just you're looking around at the level, not paying attention because you're just assuming you're going to make it, whereas this one, it's you go through and die.
Right.
And it's just frustrating.
And I think in this game especially, it's kind of frustrating because it's not a platformer, whereas if that was in something like Ori or Hollow Knight or Mario, you're expected to have a challenge at those points, and you're supposed to pay attention. But this one, it just seemed like a way to explore the map in a different way and kind of get you to a new location. So I could see where you're coming from in the sense of it seemed unnecessary. Yeah.
So there were those couple things that I didn't like. Other than that, we played this early, so there was a couple spots that were glitchy or bugs, but that's to be expected. Exactly.
I'm not going to fault it for that.
Yeah, there's
because there's very few in the sense of playing day one.
Which was especially really shocking.
Soundtrack. Let's talk about that for a minute. When I heard, with 2016, that they had thought about using an electronic soundtrack, and there was a bit of a conspiracy to have, EDM music in Doom.
Did you, speaking of EDM, not just EDM, they had a whole trailer before the game came out where it was rap.
Oh, God, please
and there was it was a guy rapping, and I'm just sitting here, I'm like...
There's certain times and places for those things.
And it's just you can't
do that. Call of Duty would be a better... Mortal Kombat is a better hip-hop variant of having game music. Yeah. Whereas there's only one choice.
Yeah, especially when it's been like that for 20-plus years, ever since the first Doom. Whenever the first Doom... I can't remember when the first Doom came out.
1993.
Yeah, so it's been freaking 27 years. Yeah. It's been that way for 27... You can't just be like, well, we're going to change it.
Electronic, no.
So I'm glad that they kept it. The soundtrack was really nice. I think if you're not paying attention, it might all sound the same, over levels if it's just something you don't pay attention to as much.
I just think it blends so well that it just
does.
kind of goes into the background, and that's why you would not notice differences. But soundtrack absolutely out of this world for this game.
Oh, something again with the soundtrack that I noticed was you get this really nice music while you're exploring levels, and somehow, even with the tone of the music, when you encounter enemies, you're going to encounter enemies. Somehow the music steps up, even from that heavy, just crushing music to even this next level, level 11 from level 10, just absolutely just turns it up when you get to a big area with a lot of enemies. So.
Yeah, exactly. One more change that I wanted to bring up from 2016 to now is that demons actively, I don't want to say basketball screen or flank is I guess a better word, but you can, if you're not paying attention, you just stop moving and it's just one little twat that won't fucking stop hitting you, and then next thing you know, a marauder shoves his axe up your ass, and
for sure.
And that's fun. I give this, I say a solid 9.
So for me, I think we both played for around 15 hours, 15 to 20.
I think I got to 22.
And that's the difficulty spike. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it an 8, just because 15 hours isn't a whole lot of time. The game was great, but if you're not going to play multiplayer, that's not the... I wouldn't say it's the best bang for your buck. It's definitely not terrible, especially if you like the Doom series and you're going to continue to play it. If you're a casual player and you've never played Doom before, you're not really invested in the story, and you're kind of wanting a longer game, this one probably isn't for you. But if you're looking for a solid, fast-paced FPS shooter, like we said at the beginning, solid game, definitely pick it up.
There is no better solid, fast-paced.
Yeah, there's nothing better you're gonna get, and it'll take you around 15 to 20 hours, 25 to complete. If you think $60 is worth that, I highly recommend buying it.
Yeah. So yeah, I give it a 9. Solely for the reasons that you said. I can't really think of any true negatives other than the fact of maybe replayability and, like you said, longevity. If you're someone who values longevity in games like Red Dead or, what's another one? GTA even. Something like that where you really want to get a lot of gameplay out of it. Maybe it's not the best choice, at least right away. Maybe wait for a sale.
Yeah. Or if you think you're going to play the multiplayer a lot, then more power to you. Because, you're already getting 15 to 25 from the campaign. And if you play multiplayer, you're already just crushing the money that you would get out of this game. So
cool. Alrighty, yeah, so that's what we think of Doom.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this with your friends if you like the video. I'm Mitch.
I'm Jordan.
And this is First Impression Reviews. Thanks for stopping by, guys.